Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. And today I'm going to give you another workout you can do in your home. We're going to use a few different modalities today. So if you have a band or a tube, go ahead and grab it. And then a set of dumbbells, a little bit lighter today if you have options on those. A fitball if you have one. And a chair, like a sturdy kitchen chair is a good thing to have on hand for this one. I'm also going to use a medicine ball, but you can also just use a dumbbell. I'm not doing anything fancy with it. I'm just going to use it and do some squats with it and show you how to use a weighted ball for that. So if you haven't warmed up, go ahead and press pause, go find all of that equipment, and then we'll get moving. Okay, first we're going to start with a banded vertical pull. So I've got my band set up, my tube set up here. And the other day we did a row, we did one arm at a time. Today we're going to do more of a lat pull down. And this is a good way to do a lat pull down if you don't have a high surface to secure your band to. So you can notice I'm kind of in a squat, I'm sitting back. I want to keep my back nice and straight, nice and tall, my shoulders down away from my ears. And then I'm going to pull that band towards my armpits. So I'm driving my elbows towards the back of the room, holding that squat. So that's another aspect of this. If this is really hard for you, you can sit on a ball and do the same thing. Get the same benefit, get a little bit more stabilization, especially if this is hurting your back at all. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears. Take a breath before you start. Breathe out as you pull down, driving those elbows towards the back of the room. So my band isn't any higher than about hip height in this drawer. And I'm just pulling straight down as if I were at a lat pull down machine in a gym. Okay, that is the banded vertical pull. So next, I'm gonna grab that medicine ball I was talking about, but you can also use, I'm gonna change my camera here a little bit. You can also use a dumbbell or nothing. Actually, this is a weight is definitely not needed for this one, but it just adds a little bit more to it. So we're going to do some side step squats. So just want you to take a nice big step to the side, squat, sit back, and I'm just holding this weight close to me so that I have a little bit more challenge in my squat. And just go back and forth. So I'm going to stay in my camera here so that obviously you can see me, but I'm just going to go back and forth in my room. You still don't need a lot of space to do this. Go back and forth, so you end up going about 10 times on each side. So it is going to be quite a few squats. If you're having any pain with this, limit your range of motion. So you can just sit back even a little bit. The other way you could do this is go side-stepping like along your kitchen counter. So you have somewhere to hang on and really sit back. You can do it along, maybe your table and grab the backs of chairs. There's lots of ways to continue to do this with good form. Like I said, you don't have to hold anything here. You can hold a dumbbell, or you can just do it without. Okay, good. Side step squats. Remember, you really want to sit back with those. Keep your weight in your heels and sitting back like you're going to sit down in a chair, squeezing those glutes as you stand up. Okay, next we're going to do some lateral raises. So go ahead and grab those dumbbells. And we're going to lift them out to the side. So if you decide maybe you need a lighter weight for this, that's okay. This is a little bit difficult sometimes, and you might need a little bit lighter weight. So try bringing those straight out to the side like this. And I'm going to stand. You can see how you can't see my feet, but you can see my legs are one in front of the other in a tandem stance. So if this bothers your shoulder, first of all, instead of going straight out to the side, move it on a little bit of a diagonal. So you're moving it not straight forward, but a little bit out to the side, kind of right in the middle between forward and all the way to the side. The next thing is to not lift that weight above your shoulders. So if you can tell, I'm stopping right before the tip of my shoulder. I don't want to go all the way up here. That can create some impingement, and if you do have any shoulder issues, that might really be bothersome to you. So standing nice and tall, shoulders down away from your ears, lifting those out to a little bit of a diagonal. And if you're able to, and you want to challenge yourself a little bit, try standing in a tandem stance, one foot right in front of the other. And you want to go slowly both directions. If you find yourself kind of hiking it up like that, then you know you have too much weight. Grab a lighter set if you have them. Or use, soup cans or water bottles or something like that. Okay, shoulder lateral raises. Next, we're going to do marches on the ball. So I'm going to lower my camera again. If you have a ball, go ahead and grab it. Having camera angle problems today. Okay, so what I want you to do is do this with something next to you if you need to. Like I have a sturdy chair here that I can use if I need to for support and for balance. If you don't have a ball, sit on a chair and do this. It's the same exercise. It just takes a little bit of the balance and core out of it. And that's okay. You're still getting your core with these marches. What I want you to do is slowly march those knees up and down. And if you find this very difficult, that's okay. Don't pick them up quite so high. If you can just get them up off the ground just a little to start while you're hanging on to something for support. If you find you can do that, the other thing is try not to tuck to get your knee up really high. All I want is for you to lift that knee and lower it nice and slowly without really tucking like this. So another way to do it so that you have a little more stability is to put your hands on the side of the ball. That can help keep it in control and keep you stable. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders down, away from your ears. We don't want this. Okay, now if you're able to do that and you still want to try a little bit more, I'm going to bring my hands up over my head and I'm going to touch my opposite knee. So this is a little balance, a little core, a little hip flexor and quad, just a little bit. And then keeping your hands over your head, you're going to your shoulders just a little bit. It's really just to throw your balance off a little bit so you're changing that base of support. Slowly is the key here to really challenge yourself. And like I said, if this is too much, start with hanging on with something, little marches, and progress up to this if you feel you're able. And you can do all of this seated or standing too. So there are different ways you can do these if you don't have a ball. Okay, good, seated marches. All right, next we're going to do seated knee lifts. So not on the ball. Get my camera here. I brought this chair in so that I can show you in a nice, sturdy chair how to do this. So I could also do it on my bench over here. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath your thighs like this and then gently lift up your knees. So this is one of those where it looks easier than it is. I'm slowly lifting my knees up. The key is try to lift both of them at the same time. Press down into your hands. That's why we put them under our thighs. Really press down, also keeping those shoulders down away from your ears. And if you find yourself rocking backwards to lift up those knees, really think about crunching forward. This is a core abdominal exercise, so you want to think about crunching forward towards those knees if you're struggling with rocking backwards. If you're rocking backwards, you're not working your abs, you're just using that momentum in order to make this happen, and you really want to do it nice and slow and controlled. Breathe. I don't know how many I've done, but we want to aim for about 10. Okay, good. Seated knee lifts. It seems like a simple exercise, but it can be really challenging. So I have a lot of people too who kind of can lift both, like that, if they lift one and then the other. So start that way if you need to, but really focus on trying to get both of those at the same time. Okay, the last one we're going to do is we're going to do some clock weight shifts. So I want this wide enough so you can see where I'm going with this. All right. So we're going to imagine the face of the clock is on the floor in front of you. What I want you to do is, for now, I will just call out times. And I don't want lunges with this. This is just a balance weight shift exercise. So sometimes I do lunges with this with some of my clients in the gym. But right now I just want to do some weight shifts. So this is more of a balance exercise. So I'm going to call out clock times. If you're doing this on your own, the other way you can do it is just imagine a clock, and you can even just work your way around the clock. 1, 2, 3, you know, working your way around the clock that way. And I notice that my camera kind of does everything flipping. So I might be doing things in a different direction. All right, so 3 o'clock. I'm going to try to keep up with that. 6 o'clock. 1 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock. 4 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 5 o'clock. And you're just kind of stepping towards that. You want to shift your weight towards that time. All right, 7 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock. 5 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 3 o'clock. 6 o'clock. You can step back with either one. Sometimes I'll tell people 6 o'clock now with the other foot. 12 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Okay, good. So if you find that's pretty easy, challenge yourself. You could have somebody else in your house call out times. It can be challenging just to kind of think like, oh, which way? And so you might, you know, you have to think about, you know, you're using some brain activity at the same time as shifting your weight. So you really want to shift into that other foot, and weight shifts can be challenging. Shift into that other foot and then come back to center each time. All right, go through those at least a couple more times and follow with all of your stretches at the end, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.